Hi everybody, welcome to Neil Talks. My name's Neil and it's time to talk QI. Let's see where my viewer requests take me today. We are going to Series J, Episode 9. I see we've got Ross Noble and Sue Perkins in this episode based on the thumbnail, so I know we're on a strong footing right away. They're two of my favorites. They're a lot of fun. Ross brings a very unpredictable energy to the show, which I find really a nice mix-up to the typical yet funny episode. Anyway, I have no idea why this one's recommended to me. Let's jump right into it. Let's have some fun. Let's have some laughs. This one's Jeopardy.
Welcome to an episode of QI that is all about Jeopardy. Joining me to fight crime, fear and disorder tonight, Wonder Woman Julia Zemiro.
Yes. Do I know Julia? I think I remember.
Supergirl Sue Perkins. Boy Wonder Ross Noble. And our own Danger Mouse Alan Davies.
Danger Mouse rocks, come on. Oh. Jazzy Jeopardy.
Yeah, definitely worth doing twice.
Vehicle reversing.
We must be vigilant because danger stalks us from the moment we wake up to the moment we retire. How far can you go on
Micromorphs everywhere.
A cup of Joe being an Americanism for...
Java coffee?
Coffee,
Yeah.
coffee. Yeah, cup of
That's a
carrots, yeah.
flat white too many for that little kid.
It is. How far can you go before you spill it? This is actually all down to science. What is the science of the movement of liquids called?
Hydrodynamics.
Fluid dynamics.
Fluid dynamics. Hydrodynamics. What is there a difference? Are they synonyms? I guess hydrodynamics is the science of motion through
One of the
water.
things they've discovered is that the average human stepping pace happens to cause an oscillation between 7 and 10 steps. You are going to spill the coffee.
So like a long jumper could still perform and drink before it's spilt, because that's only 3.
That's true. A normal walking pace rather than the hop, skip and the jump or a long run.
Some scientists I need some serious proper work for getting on with it.
Should we get a coffee? And they went, oh, we're meant to be working. Right, measure me.
It has to be said, it is the University of California in Santa Barbara, which is known as the Surface
The banana
University
slugs.
for slackers. But they suggest a flexible...
That's their school
container
mascot,
acts as
the
a
banana
slotting
slugs.
absorber,
Famous
with a
from
series of annular ring
Pulp
buffers.
Fiction.
So they-
Or was that UC Santa Cruz? Damn it, now I'm second guessing.
I tell you what, the amount of times my annular has been baffled.
Baffling is sound muffling, isn't it? But it's also absorbing waves, and that's essentially the same thing.
If
waves.
you put a baffle in your anus, that'll make you have quiet farts.
I suppose it would. Until pressure built up...
There's a scientist working on that right now.
Lethal.
And you could have someone's eye out in the aisle at Waitrose. All troops must break step when marching over this bridge. Why would that be?
Because if they're synced up, they'll start rocking the bridge.
That's why Michael Flatley can never get north of the Thames. That's a reason. He's furious. He's always wanted to go to Madame Tussauds. Right now, he's at the Elephant and Castle going, I can't believe it. I want to go and see the Queen.
There's another bridge other than the Albert Bridge where that problem
Millennium
arose.
Bridge.
The Millennium Bridge, the Wibbly Wobbly Bridge, as it was known, was twisting in the wind.
That was mainly because Russell Watson was making videos on it.
Yeah.
You got Flatley at one end, you got Watson at the other. It's a nightmare.
Yeah. Good. Well, I think we've...
Just
Now, what's
ignore and
smaller
deflect.
than the moon and keeps moving the sea around? It's not a moon of any kind. It's not a celestial body. It's a marine creature.
Like a big whale.
Big thing, yes.
This better be the blue whale.
It so is not the blue whale. It's
it
not an
plankton?
individual mass. Oh,
algae.
yeah.
Many fish, like a school of...
We call it a fish, but it isn't a fish.
Jellyfish.
No, like jellyfish.
Oh.
They essentially cause an enormous amount of the water at the top, which is oxygen-rich, to go down to the bottom, and a lot of the water at the bottom, which is full of nutrients, to go to the top. And it might contribute 1 trillion watts of energy, which is easily as much as wind or tidal pull.
I've got one I put in the bath, so I don't have to do that.
Yeah, that would do. But they can be malign as well. It so happened in 1982 that a ship had in its bilge water from North America. They arrived and had no local predator. In less than a decade, the population had reached a biomass of 1 billion tons in the Black Sea, 10 times the weight of all the fish we catch every year around the world.
So a lot.
Fortunately, then, another carnivorous jellyfish arrived, and so it ate them all, and once it had eaten them all, the balance was restored and the fish returned.
Just one of these things turned up.
A few, enough to breed, but my God, did they breed. I think that's quite interesting. How many jellyfish are there here?
And they're completely inedible.
In that picture?
Or not completely, but
What is it? One with a
they're
very
useless.
flamboyant hat on.
nutritional.
The flamboyant hat gives it its name. If you've ever seen
is it a sail?
Portuguese conquistador,
Is it a man o' war?
a Portuguese man-of-war is what it is. It's not a jellyfish. And it isn't even a single creature. It's a colony of animals that operate together as one.
Like the Borg.
Incredibly. Yes, we are
Resistance is futile.
the inflatable bladder along the top. There's one creature. The tentacles are separate and carry the coiled, spring-loaded harpoons, which have the most incredible speed. They explode in 700 billionths of a second.
What?
Which is the fastest known animal mechanism on Earth. And there are other creatures that make part of this colony. Gastrozooids, which digest the food, and gonozoids, which are the gonads.
There's an animal that's just the gonads?
So the stomach's looking for its bollocks, essentially, in the middle of the...
It's called a siphonophore, that kind of a creature. They collect in vast herds of thousands or so, and that's why the appearance of one is enough to clear an Australian beach. 10,000 Australians a year, on average, receive a Portuguese man-of-war sting. Not pleasant.
Toughens you up, though.
No, exactly.
I mean, that's life, isn't it?
One day it'll toughen you up enough to win a test match against us.
Ouch! Gotta like some cricket humor.
What is Australia's deadliest creature, in fact?
Oh,
Yeah.
Rupert Murdoch.
It's true.
Excluding a member of the human race, which I'm not sure whether that does or not, but anyway...
Spiders, the funnel web, the red...
Is it the saltwater crocodile?
It's the box jellyfish.
No, it's not. That is a nasty creature.
Crocodile?
Is it man?
Snake.
Shark.
No,
Can you say that?
but sometimes they're on the animal involved.
They're on the...
Horse,
That's a horse, yes.
Wow. Derp face.
It's very powerful. You just can't think.
Incredibly powerful and incredibly stupid and incredibly nervous. They shy, they rear, they're frightened. But what's that? It's a piece of paper.
Not a lot of respect for the horse from Stephen.
My wife bought a horse, and she's desperate to try and get me to ride. The problem was it was too docile. What happened was it ended up being studied by Melbourne University because it medically got narcolepsy.
A narcoleptic horse.
When she was grooming it, it would get heavier. So I got on it in full motorbike gear because I wasn't taking any chances. And it started to just... And you know, normally you kick a horse to make it go. This one, he kicked it and it would go, what? Hey, like that. And sometimes it would fall asleep against the electric fence. So it would go
But it is the horse, anyway, that turns out to be the deadliest animal. Followed by the cow. 20 deaths from cow. Those are mostly on the road.
Death by cow, so embarrassing.
And then dog, 12 deaths from dogs. Crocodiles, alligators, only 4. Spiders, only 3. And 1 person killed by a cat.
She had a bum bitten off by a shark.
Ow.
And they did a bum transplant.
Who donates their bum?
But that's easy, a bum. That's just a bit of flesh. You could get that from anywhere. I don't see that's
You
amazing.
can harvest that off somebody while you're queuing at the supermarket.
Yeah.
No big deal.
Couldn't
One
I?
buttock, because that's how you create the fart. That would be... Where's the joy in life of going up? Here it comes. It's not good.
I'm not sure that it's the wobble, it's the vibrating of the buttocks that makes the noise.
No.
To get it baffled.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm baffled.
Of course, and they are certainly cannibalistic. If you put 10,000 spiders in one room, you'd eventually end up with one
Really big
enormously
spider.
fat spider.
And the works of Shakespeare.
How did you defend yourself against this beast?
Boy. Oh.
Pick it up and throw it away. It's probably like tiny.
It's a dinosaur called Frutadens hagarorum.
Frutadens? Does it eat fruit?
It's a quite friendly-looking one in a strange sort of way.
Well, if you ignore the massive, great spear it's got for a tail.
It's got a lovely fringe.
It's actually feathered.
Oh, feathered fringe.
And it has front fangs upwards, very unusual.
Front fangs and a feathered fringe.
Front fangs and a feathered fringe.
Are you Ronnie Barker?
This is in the wrong series.
It's basically about 4 inches tall. It's the smallest dinosaur we know about.
So was it a herbivore or an omnivore?
Paris Hilton totally wants one.
Yeah, exactly. It's about the size of a chihuahua. It's called Frutadens because the first fossilized remains of one were found in Fruta, which you may remember is a town in Colorado. Probably know, a lot of people think that all dinosaurs were ancestors of birds. And they've managed to produce chicken embryo that grew curved dinosaur fangs by triggering dormant genes that are not usually triggered
That's
in the birth
not.
of chicken.
I bet Colonel Sanders is shitting himself.
And then they grew one with a
It's not
small
going to end
tail.
well at all.
But no dinosaur was bigger than what? What is the biggest living creature that has ever existed?
The
on
blue
planet?
whale.
The T-Rex.
No.
That giant.
No, I
tall
said
one
no
there.
dinosaur.
Whale.
Sorry,
The blue whale. It was your chance to be right with the blue whale, Alan. The blue whale is bigger than any dinosaur. I know. Bummeroony.
Is there a blue whale compilation out there?
Called a Brooksia chameleon, a little pigmy chameleon, and I have one right on my finger. You can see that. Isn't that? They are absolutely. They are
amazing.
perfect.
Was it tasty?
Chameleons. No.
Nice little canopy.
If you eat a chameleon.
It's just the most beautiful thing. And for night. How did blind King John of Bohemia find his way around the battlefield?
He must have had helpers. Somebody must have helped him.
Or he
they
wasn't
did,
blind.
In no particular way. He became king of Bohemia and Poland as a teenager. He developed ophthalmia and became blind, but that
Okay,
didn't
he
stop
was
him
really
from wanting
blind.
to fight. Made the big mistake of taking on Britain. We get the dusty old cane out of the cupboard and we give Johnny Frenchman a damn good slapping. 30,000 troops of Philip, including blind John of Bohemia, died at the battle, and 200 English died.
That is embarrassing.
That's a little lopsided. Is that because of the longbows, or what was the decisive technology?
We cheated by using longbows and cannon.
Oh, cannon. Jeez.
Do you think after 20,000, the other 10,000 think, do you know what, I'm going to jack this in? Who goes in and cleans up this mess?
Oh, there's a lot of scavenging, I'm afraid, of the dead bodies. It's a pretty nasty business, those battles.
Knobby Knobs does.
He would have a rider to the left of him and a rider to the right of him, and he would be lashed to them, and they pointed him in the right direction, and he would just wheel.
Flail wildly around.
He would just ride well away from them. Saying, you've got him, sir, you've got him. Here's another one. Well done, sir. And just bash swords together.
For blind people nowadays with the white stick, I say we get rid of the white stick, give them a sword down the street.
Or a lightsaber.
Exactly.
That would
Now
do.
we're talking. Yeah.
Can you get those? Are they real then? Like,
Oh, yeah.
Oh, and then?
They're real. They
I
are
think so.
absolutely real.
Yeah.
Wom. Exactly. If you strike me down now, I will become more powerful than ever.
Like Stephen Fry's inner nerd.
Well, blind King John of Bohemia did die in the Battle of Cressy, but so brave was he considered by the victor of Cressy, the Black Prince, that he took blind John, King of Bohemia's motto. Still
today,
Still the motto of the Prince of Wales, I serve. And also, though this is more controversial, the 3 ostrich feathers that were the symbol of the Bohemian prince. And it all comes from blind King John of Bohemia. Speaking of riding into danger, which fairground ride is most dangerous? The Wall of Death, the Wheel of Death, the Death Slide, or the Euthanasia Coaster?
I've been on the Wall of Death. That's the bike thing where you go up and there's a
That's
sort of...
What keeps you from falling?
Sticky tape.
Audience.
Centrifugal motion.
Centripetal petal force. Centripetal.
What's the difference between centripetal and centrifugal? It's been a long time since Physics 12. One is in and one is out, but I forget which.
At the Cramlington Carnival, and as it was going around, there was a kid next to her with a goldfish in a bag, and it exploded. He couldn't do anything about it. She couldn't do anything about it. So they're on there like, and it went poof like that. And the two of them just started going like that.
The Wall of Death is also, I think, an expression at heavy metal concerts.
Yes.
All the fans move out into two lines and leave like a passageway, and before the most violent sort of song, they all go...
That's absolutely right. It's a kind of moshing wall,
Yeah.
exactly, with definite points there.
Have you seen that? With a car on a wall of death, and there's a bear in the car. Just putting it out there.
Not nice. The Wheel of Death is slightly harder to describe. It was invented in 1933 as the Space Wheel, and there were fatalities, and then it was brought back in the 1970s as the Wheel of Death, and ironically, since then, there have been no deaths.
Same.
The most deadly of them all is the euthanasia coaster. It's a project of an art student in London called Julie Jonas Urbanus. It exists as a 1 in 500 scale model, and you can see there. The idea is the ride would last 3 minutes, a 2-minute ascent to the very, very top. It's 1,600 foot.
Oh, God.
So very, very high.
Okay.
You then have a minute's
A third of a
223
mile.
miles per hour plunge, pulling 10 Gs of centrifugal force in that case, and that would kill the rider through what's called cerebral hypoxia.
Have Chessington World of Adventure bought it?
No, they haven't.
That'd be amazing, because you could actually build a chapel at the end.
Yes.
And then the best thing of all is after the funeral, you get a picture of your loved one.
I went to Alton Towers one time, and they have this ride where you just go along, and then you get to the edge of a vertical drop, and then it goes like that, and everyone goes, ah! And then it just drops you straight down a hole in the ground.
Oh, good God.
And if you sit in the cafe next to it, you can see it out the window. So while you're having your sandwiches, just about every 60 seconds, just a... all day long.
I bungee jumped, and that was so exciting. I immediately had to do it again. I just absolutely loved it, yeah.
What about the guy who made his own bungee jump? I think he won a Darwin Award.
Yeah.
He made his own bungee jump with a rope.
Yeah. Hung himself.
Well, no, it's
American,
took
I'm
his foot
guessing.
off.
So, what's the biggest dead body in the world?
Blue whale.
Oh, Alan.
It's a body of water.
The Dead Sea.
Dead Sea.
The Aral Sea?
The Black Sea.
Only the very top has any living things going on. 90% of it is absolutely dead. It's been dead for millennia.
Is it just like
so it's not our
oxygen
fault.
deprived?
And you take the oxygen out of a sulfate, you are left with hydrogen sulfide. Black Sea is the largest reservoir of hydrogen sulfide on the planet.
Is there any use for that? Someone could devise a use for that? Some scientist who isn't busy measuring how long it takes to spill his coffee on the way back?
Yes, they have already devised a use for it, and that is as a poison to kill people.
Oh, right.
Yeah. In Japan, in particular, it's very, very popular because you can use, you know, various household cleaners and pesticides to make it. And 2,000 detergent suicides, as they're called, have been recorded in Japan since 2005. So it's a single breath is enough to kill a human being. 80% of people who turn up at the scene of a detergent suicide are themselves poisoned by the gas remaining because they can't smell it.
Dang.
So there's not much cheerful about that, I have to say.
No, that's
sorry about
that's
that.
that killed the episode.
What isn't a blue whale but floats around in the sea and weighs as much as a blue whale?
Is it an elephant on holiday?
Is it 20 elephants on holiday?
No, it's something that the blue whale
A massive
consumes.
lilo.
Krill.
The blue whale can consume its own weight in...
Krill.
Plankton.
Well, actually in water. It dives all the way down and then dives up again with its mouth open, and it literally can take on 90 tons of water.
Gotta love a blue whale.
Yeah. Right. We do love a blue whale. No one's been able to go deep enough to find out what they do until very recently.
Just gossiping.
Yes, of course. That's right. Having quizzes in which people say, is the answer Alan Davies? Why shouldn't you mess with the maxillofacial death pyramid?
Is it because it's got the word death in it?
Maxillofacial. Maxillo, isn't that the maxilla? Isn't that the jaw?
The top jaw, isn't
but
it?
it's the maxillary. The pyramid is actually sort of there from the bridge of the nose down through the.
So it's like a facial Bermuda triangle.
And there it is. Yeah, and get bacteria in it that sort of block it and force it all the way back up into the brain. Meningitis is an example of that, and syphilis, indeed, is.
From picking your nose?
Well, not from picking.
Yeah, it slightly depends what you're picking it with.
That's how you explain it to the wife. No, it's just picking my nose now.
There is actually a DIY hardcore punk band from Sheffield called the Maxillofacial Death Pyramid. Excellent. And if you're watching, you know, I'm coming to your next concert. You can absolutely
I'm sure they go by MFDP.
Now, making hydrogen with nails and drain cleaner would be a very jolly jape indeed, don't you think?
Yes, I think
so. Let's try it.
Yeah.
To prove that it's hydrogen, I'm going to have to set fire to it. First of all, I'm going to have a little basin of water I'm going to put here. Oh, hello. Made a mistake. Sorry, man in my ear. Furious with me.
What's he fucking doing?
What the fuck, Fry?
Water down! Do this properly or you will die. Do you understand?
No.
Start again, for fuck's sake!
I've been told to tell you not to try this at home.
Try it at someone else's home.
Yeah, so...
Try it at the neighbours.
Some ordinary green-coloured washing up liquid. We're not allowed to mention its fairy. Its name. I don't know what you call this little...
That's an Erlenmeyer
I
flask.
think is the word.
Well, this is like going on a picnic with Heston Bloom and stuff.
A few more, a little bit of zinc.
When are you going to put on the safety goggles, Stephen?
I'm going to put on the safety goggles now because I'm about to open the bottle of acid.
Put the fucking safety goggles on!
I've also got a mask.
Why doesn't everyone else get a mask?
Sorry, can I...
His mask is upside down, though.
You're expendable. I may have the mask upside down.
Yeah.
Got the fucking mask upside down!
Right, going to pour this acid
Onto the
It's
nails.
a nail.
The zinc and the hydrochloric acid will
Has he
react.
been drinking?
Yeah.
Has he been drinking?
He's going
towards me.
away. It's flying away.
I now have to put this
It's just hydrogen, right?
in it, and I put this in here, and it will bubble up. Right, that's important. And
Matt,
grasp these
The
bubbles.
hell is that?
Oh, I'm going to take the bubbles
like a
there.
sex
I'm going to
cactus.
go. Oh, God.
Cool. That's cool. What happened if you put the flame just at the end of the hose? Is it sufficient to be a flamethrower? Or would it go up the hose into the flask and explode? It's an interesting color flame.
Hydrogen, ladies and gentlemen.
Why did we suddenly do that? It seems like a complete non sequitur to the episode.
How's the smell? Can I just say that's quite the...
Pretty whiffy,
Yes, we
pretty
can.
eggy
It's
whiffy.
pretty
Eggy
eggy.
whiffy. Well, a bit of hydrogen sulfide probably in there that might kill you, of course. Let's hope not.
Did we just make the detergent suicide?
Is it that bad?
It's downwind.
Especially now I know it's potentially fatal.
No,
Yes, it is.
It's not hydrogen sulfide. It's just hydrogen.
Hydrogen shouldn't stink.
A very creditable last place, and only just with -16 is Julia Zemiro. Oh! Third place with -14, Alan Davies.
Well done, Alan. Back in your normal half of the standings.
With -7 in second place, Ross Noble. But our winner with a magnificent -6 is Sue Perkins.
Ah.
Do that thing and be lovely to each other. Good night.
That was a bit of an odd ending to an episode of QI. First of all, let's kill the light comedic tone of the show by talking about 2,000 suicides in Japan caused by mixing together household chemicals, including dish detergent. And once we've done that, let's mix together some household chemicals, including dish detergent, and set them on fire. That being said, I don't know what it is, but I really love the episodes that end with Stephen or Sandy doing a little science demonstration. You know, I grew up watching Bill Nye on local cable He did things for a local Seattle station that we get in Vancouver long before he became a national personality. And he did, yeah, really great science demonstrations back in the 80s and 90s. And this is very reminiscent of that. I'm not sure why, because very different tone and yet very, very similar. Anyway, I want to try that now, but I don't want to have to source sulfuric acid. So I don't get to light hydrogen bubbles in my hand. Anyhow, I dig Ross Noble. I'm very fond of Sue Perkins. I'm not sure what it is about Sue, but I would like to have a drink with her one day. And yeah, another fun episode. One of the things I really like about Ross is he goes off on long tangents, and you can see Steven just sort of like trying to pull the conversation back to his cards, and eventually just going, well, yes, moving on. But not before Ross has talked about a narcoleptic horse for 3 or 4 minutes. And that's just the edited on-screen version. Like, who knows how long he rambled on about that horse in studio. Because I understand the filming of an episode of QI typically takes 2 or so hours, and that ends up as a 30-minute episode for the original broadcast and a 45-minute episode for the XL version. Well, there's a lot left on the cutting room floor. Thank you guys for spending a little time with me. I love this show. Can't wait to see you guys next week. Until then, everybody, take care, stay healthy, and we'll see you soon. Cheers.